Today's May 9th. Paul Skenes has been called up. The Hundo Boys in full effect, featured this weekend. We've got a lot to get into today. You're listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast. Let's go. Yins, guys. Thank you for listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast, where we talk all about the Pittsburgh Pirates and that. My name is Josh, and I'm joined this afternoon by my brother Jake. What's up, Jake?
I'm exhausted.
Yeah? Running?
Had to pick up some friends at the airport last night. Had to work early this morning, and their flight got delayed. I didn't get home till 1:30 in the morning. Got to sleep around 2. Get up at 4:45, 5 o'clock to go to work. It's a good day. Ready to go.
Yeah. We've we got this thing going. Paul Skenes on his way. Very exciting news. I don't know. We're kind of expecting it, kind of not expecting it, kind of just kind of waiting for this day. Like, we knew this was coming. We didn't know. Sure. I had said, if you missed Monday's show, Sunday night, we were there, and I had Jim Rosati on, and he kind of said, I don't think it's coming. And I said, I just don't know. We were wondering, when were those boxes going to be checked? Then Shelton came out and said he's scheduled to pitch on Saturday in Indianapolis. And then it became, okay, well, that's not Friday. So, you know what I mean? Because he would have been a 4 days rest, would have been Friday. And my whole case was they want him to pitch multiple times on 4 days rest. Then all of a sudden they're giving him an extra day. And so it was like, well, then I don't know, maybe. I don't know. And so you just kind of said, I kept it close, right? And I'm whatever. Having conversations. I go to leave the house, and I'm in the car going to pick up the boys from daycare, and it starts happening. And of course, like, you know, a degenerate, I'm looking at my phone while I'm driving and trying to, okay, do I need to buy tickets while I'm on my way there? Like, what do I need to do? Because I don't want to miss it. So no, I put the phone down. We did the things we needed to do. We got home. Instead, I called you, right? So I could put the phone down. I called you, and I was like, you seeing this? Let's go. So, yeah.
I had not been seeing it. I was actually taking a nap.
Yeah. So here we are. Paul Skenes coming Saturday. And it's very exciting. I did get the tickets secured.
Nice.
So I will be there. You're flying up? No?
I wish.
Right. So obviously that's going to take up some time here today.
Yeah.
I am on my lunch break from work, as probably many of you who are watching us live, or I don't even know. I don't even know if I have a number. Like, I don't know if I can tell how many are looking at this thing. I don't have that page open. So I don't know if there's even a thing I can do for that. Not today, that's for sure. So anyway, otherwise, if you are watching, pop into the chat. Let's be excited. I know that there's a lot of takes out there right now, Jake, and we'll get into a bunch of stuff, but let's just stay on Paul Skenes right now. Let's be excited. I know there's a lot of takes out there right now. I mean, here you know what? Let's go to Bucko Mike in the chat. 220 team batting average, 13th in the NL in average. So, like, you know, we're actually, yeah, in the NL. Okay. So, like, we're going to sit here and say Paul Skenes can't help the offense, right? Who cares? Mm-hmm. Like, he's still the idea is we want this guy to be there, and he's going to be there.
Yeah. I mean, I have mixed feelings. Like, I'm obviously excited about it. I obviously want to see Skenes in the major leagues, but at the same time, like, we got to score, you know, more than 5 runs in a series.
But how does that change? How does that change Skenes though? Like, shouldn't
he's
he
going
be
to sit there
called
looking
up?
like Jared Jones. He's going to be wowing us with his pitching performances, but he's sit there with a what 2-4 record.
Do you care? What? Who? What? What? Jared Jones is doing amazing things. We're very excited about Jared Jones.
Yeah, but
So
we're just not getting. We're not getting him wins.
So
I just feel bad for him.
Oh
He's
my
doing out there
gosh.
just dealing.
You know
doing
how
his
much
job,
more money he's
and our
making right
offense
now?
is just not doing anything.
You know how much more money he's making?
Oh, that's fine. It's not about
You feel
money
bad for him?
Yeah.
Get out of here. You feel bad for a guy who gets called up to the major leagues?
Yeah, he's out there shoving and he's got no support.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. But also, no. He is going to get all the accolades, all the boost, everything. There is no This is true. Bucko Mike's full-time job is commenting on Pirates podcast. Here's the deal. That to me, like, he's still like what Jared Jones is doing is awesome. Matter of fact,
absolutely.
Maybe set the bar too high. I don't know that Skenes can top this.
Right.
You know what I mean? But either way, no, absolutely. You do everything you can to make your team better. This makes the team better, regardless of whether you don't wait for an offense to make your pitching better.
No, I get that. And that's why I said mixed feelings. I didn't say I hate this move. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm still obviously very excited for it.
The buzz.
I'm very excited to watch and see what Jared Jones is doing. I'm not saying anything. I'm not downplaying anything except for the fact that, there is some moves we could be making to make our offense better. And I just think that those moves need to be made as well.
Okay, that's fair. That's aside from like saying we shouldn't call up Paul Skenes because the offense isn't ready for him.
Yeah, no, I never said that.
Well, that's what I was implying here. That's where I was going with all this, Jake. What I'm saying is, like, your takes are, well, now's not the time to call him up, or it is. It is absolutely the time to call him up.
Yeah, and when he's ready, he's ready. You bring him up.
Okay. I thought you were going a different. That's the whole thing that I was saying there. I was like, all these takes.
I know. That's why you're like, I was like, oh, you're taking me the wrong way.
No.
Like,
well, but
I'm excited for him. It's just, I do feel bad for the guys who come up and shove and don't get any run support.
Dude, I don't care. If you got the numbers, you got the numbers. If you say you feel bad for guys that come up and give up 16 runs and only one of them's earned, I'll feel bad for that guy. You know what I'm saying? But I am not at all going to feel bad for a guy who's got wonderful, great numbers that are setting records. And, talking about Jared Jones, I don't care that he's got a 2-3 record. I don't care at all. We don't look at wins and losses for starting pitchers anymore. And if we do, then change the rules. Make it 4 innings to earn a win. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't pitch the same way we used to. Wins and losses for a starting pitcher don't matter.
Right. We pitch for injuries, not
here's a statistic you can if you're going to talk about wins and losses, we pitch for injuries. Yeah, exactly. No, here's a stat. How many times did you come out of the game? Like, quality start to me. That's the stat, right? Because that is, you gave your team a chance to win.
Mm-hmm. And
so that's why I'm saying, like, change the quality start. Make it 5 innings. You know what I mean? Instead of 6. If it's 6-3 right now, make it 5-2 or 6-3, something like that. You know what I mean? If you want to start messing with numbers to make pitchers feel better, look at the quality starts. You give me a quality start, then you're doing your job. It's up to the offense to do the rest. Wins and losses is a team stat. So anyway, the whole thing, the whole like purpose of bringing this up is, was it time, and should we have called him up because he's not going to help the offense? Yes, we should call him up. Or this is just for ticket sales. Even if it is, why would we complain? We want him here.
Right.
Coming off of the heels of this cold. So every once in a while, I'm going to have to cough a little bit, clear my throat a little bit. The mute button will be my friend today. All right. So, what do you expect from Paul Skenes? Let's go into our expectation for this outing. 66 pitches last time. I think 75, somewhere around 75. The outing before that, 5 days rest went to 66. He's got, or 4 days rest. I'm sorry, 5 days rest before Saturday. It'd be realistic to say 75, 80, 85 if he's dealing. You know what I'm saying? And it's whatever. Obviously, pitch count is different if he walks a couple guys in a couple innings and runs into a little bit of trouble. 85 is a lot more pitches than 85 if he's just cruising through 6. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So it's a little different when you look at it that way. But, I mean, what do you expect to see here? They're going to be careful with him. I know that the excitement's there, but they're not going to change their long-term plans, right?
Right.
So,
and you shouldn't.
Yeah. So what do you got here? I mean, you're talking about division opponent. So in this team, their words are that they care about winning the division, regardless of what you and I think, right? That's what they're saying, and that's what we're holding them to here.
Right.
What do you got? What's your I guess your prediction or your expectation?
My prediction,
or
like
whatever.
stat line, like?
Yeah, like what do you think he does here? You think he gets through 5 innings, 6 innings? You know what I mean? What do you got?
I think he gets through 6. I think he gets through 6. He'll give up a couple hits. I'm sure. I doubt he gets to like double-digit strikeouts. I don't know.
Okay. So because of the fact that
8 to 9,
8 to 9 strikeouts in 5 to 6 innings, you think?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bucko Mike's got 4 innings, an earned run, 5 hits, a walk, 5 Ks, 65 pitches.
It's very specific.
Very specific. I'll give him 75 pitches. I'll give him 5 innings. Okay. I sorry about that. Part of me does think there's a run involved here. I don't know if it's like a Bellinger homer or something like that. I'll give him
Is
a couple.
Bellinger playing again?
Bellinger's back. That's what I'm saying. We're going to run into Bellinger and Ian Happ, and Morel is not. I mean,
you can count Ian Happ for a homer. I mean,
it just seems to be that way, right?
You're right.
Also, Christopher Morel has kind of got that attitude where he's like, where I feel like he's going into this weekend pumped up because he wants to blast Jones and Skenes and just show the world who he is. Like, that's the attitude I feel like that guy plays with, which if you're a Cubs fan is great. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Part of me does think that the strikeouts will be there, though, which is why I'm thinking 75, 85. I don't see him going longer than 5 innings. I think 8 or 9 strikeouts is certainly in the cards. They just went down 12 times yesterday to, oh my gosh, what's his face with the trade, with the, help me out, guys.
I don't
San
know who
Diego.
they played.
San Diego.
Musgrove?
No, with the trade, with the guy that did Cease.
Oh.
Dylan Cease. Just went down 12 times on Wednesday to Dylan Cease. And now they're going to have to go up against Jones and Skenes. Earlier today, I think it was earlier today, maybe last night, I don't remember. Gary Morgan over at the fan forum, SteelCityPirates.com, he said, not have anything to do with this weekend, right? But like long term, you might want to split Jones and Skenes up to give a team a different look. When you're going to face a team 2 games in a row, if you got Jones going one night and then our bullpen's not going to go light, it's going to be high velos. And then you turn around the next day and go Skenes, they are going to kind of feel a little bit of like, all right, we dealt with this yesterday all day. We were catching up a little bit. Now maybe you got to take a little bit more for Skenes, but is there something to that? You know what I mean? Where you say, boy, we're pumping high velo, maybe giving Skenes a bit of a disadvantage in that situation. Or is it velo's velo?
No, I think it's definitely fair to say that. But I haven't seen any side by side, but I'm sure it's a different look. You know what I mean? It's not like comes the same arm angle, all that, and all that plays. It all plays.
Yeah.
Visibility. Can you see the ball out of the hand well? Does he hide it well? There's just a lot that goes into it that it's still. I agree with the fact, in the long term, maybe Keller in between them or something.
Yeah. Jones is 6'1", but he does that long, like Spencer Strider type, like he gets low. And Skenes, what, 6'6"? I think he is. So you might get some arm angle, some, height difference there. I don't know, like day to day, how much it really. I mean, these guys are talented. They're going to do their thing. I think Skenes is Skenes.
Yeah.
MLB Central. I mean, everybody's talking about this, right? MLB Central brought this up today, and I double checked. I had to fact check because I couldn't believe it was true. I couldn't believe it was true because I thought for sure Jared Jones has pumped 101. He has not. He has not hit 101. He's hit
just 100.
100.8 is his highest velo this season so far. The fastest ball thrown in Major League Baseball this year, Jose Soriano, on April 16th, not this weekend, although he did throw 100.8 against the Pirates on Wednesday, 100.9 against Tampa Bay. By the way, Jose Soriano is just gas. He's got the most 100s this year, and then Hunter Green, and then Jared Jones. Either way, none of them have hit a true 101. Paul Skenes, on the other hand, has hit 102.1 and has thrown 101 18 times plus one for the 102. Yeah. You've got a guy who's thrown 19 pitches over 101 or higher, and no starter in Major League Baseball has done that yet this year. Now, it would be, I'd be silly not to mention David Festa in Minnesota, number 5 prospect for Minnesota. He threw 101.1 as a starting pitcher one time this year. I don't know his story. I don't know if he starts all his games or if it was a bullpen kind of thing, but either way, he did. He's the only other pitcher in baseball to hit 101 as a starter this year. 19 of them, though. Yeah. So here we are with Jones and the whiffs, right? What is the story that Skenes is going to tell? I mean, because like I said, I think the bar that Jones has set, this might be peak level Jared Jones right now.
Yeah.
Right? He's on a run right now. I think that he's still a great pitcher. I'm not going to say he's going to fall apart, but he's on all cylinders right now.
Yeah, he's on another level right now.
And so if this is peak. This is a great, it's great to have a guy like this. But now Skenes, on the other hand, is he going to come in at peak Skenes, or are we going to see even better from him? And here's the thing. Jones could also prove me wrong when I say that. I don't know how, but I mean, maybe do this for longer in a game. You know what I'm saying? More often, something like that. But either way, I mean, the numbers are silly on both sides of this thing.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I don't, as cool as a stat as whiffs are, I don't care as much if Skeen comes up and just makes everybody swing and miss all the time, as long as he makes them swing and miss on strike 3.
Which Jones is also doing.
Well, 100%.
Was he like second in the league in strikeouts or something like that, right?
Yeah, but I'm okay. I'm saying the bar is set so daggum high.
Yeah.
That I don't care if he does all of that, as long as the strikeout numbers are still around there. You know what I mean? I'm not going to look for him to match everything Jones is doing, because that's asking a lot.
Yeah, Jones right now, of course, he starts tomorrow night, so he's got one less start than a lot of these. The only guy who has the same amount of starts than him, actually 2 guys, are both in the American League and both pitching for Detroit, who has more strikeouts than him. Both of them have also pitched an extra inning and an inning and 2/3, but that's Jack Flaherty and Tariq Skubal. So Jones 52 strikeouts in 41 innings. If you let's just do it because we do this, right? You fix stats so that they fit your narrative, right? He's number 4 in the National League, and the 3 guys above him have had an extra start. And really not even an extra start. They've all thrown at least 9 1/3 more innings. So he's not even going to catch up to their innings in his next start.
Yeah.
And he's 8 strikeouts away from the next guy, Dylan Cease, who just punched out 12, like I said. So, and it's Zach Wheeler and Tyler Glass now up there. So, I mean, like, obviously, you want to know another one, though, that's interesting. The walks, Glass now 13, Wheeler 13, Cease 16, Jones 5.
Yeah. Yeah, it's incredible.
I mean, so let's look at another guy who just punched out a bunch. Chris Sale, 7 starts, 42 and 2/3, so an inning and 2/3 more. 52, same amount of strikeouts, 3 more walks. He's also on another level right now. He's there. I mean, we're top 5 Jared Jones right now, and we just brought up our best pitcher on the team.
Yeah.
That's where we're at right now.
They were talking about Jared Jones a little bit on MLB Central the other day, and when I was watching, Al Leiter was just going on. He's just so impressed. Like, which everybody is. This dude kind of come out of nowhere, and DeRosa's like, the Buccos are looking. They're looking good.
Yeah, DeRosa's.
Like, yeah. Don't watch their hitting. Just watch our pitching.
Yeah. Well, okay. So we're gonna have to get into that. I know that this is that we're all excited, and this is a Skenes basically thing. Jones and Skenes, by the way, we'll have to. You mentioned Ian Happ, Bucko Mike looking it up for us. 310 average, 1 dot on the OPS at PNC in 23. In 22, a 306 average, 875 OPS. So, yeah, I mean, they're going to have to go. Maybe Ian Happ's the guy. Maybe it's not Bellinger that you're worried about. Although I just think that, like, moments like that, I mean, they've got some guys that could make that a bad outing. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we're not going up against a light hitting team right here.
Right.
So this is something that these two guys are going to have to earn a couple really good starts. And if they do, like, now we're talking, all right, now we've done everything that you could say we possibly could need to do, right? Mm-hmm. We haven't even had a start where Jones has looked that 5 innings, 3 runs, like, that was not a terrible start.
It just wasn't. It just wasn't what we were used to.
Exactly. It just wasn't what he's been doing. So absolutely. Yeah, let's we should probably get on. So here's the thing, guys. I have a meeting at 1. So this is like we have a cutoff time here today.
Yeah.
So this is the midday kind of thing that makes it a little bit difficult. We lost the series to the Angels, right? We didn't hit. Well, we hit, but we hit in 2 innings. And that was it in the whole series. And so this has to change. I have seen, though, and this is what we'll talk a little bit about, O'Neal Cruz seems to be heating up. We've seen it here. Mm-hmm. We've seen it there. Yesterday's game, 3 hits over 100. You know what I mean? Like, he seemed to really start. He's seeing the ball better. He's attacking. I'm seeing different things from them. And I feel like he's ready to maybe go on a run. When they walk 2 guys in front of Cruz to load the bases, those are the moments that the guys that are going to carry the team have to come through.
Yeah.
There are a lot of times where it's like, yeah, you want him to do something good here, but like 2 outs, they walk 2 guys to get to you. You have to make them pay if you want to be a good team. And he did. He smoked one off the wall, line drive. It's
and a visitor.
Yeah, 3 runs, the whole 9 yards, and you know what I mean. We're rolling. Joe gets the single, knocks in another run. You feel like you're in a really good spot there, and you just can't keep tacking onto that.
Yeah.
You have to find, this offense has to find a way to chip away, not just have a big inning. The big innings are great, but you got to find a way to chip away, not just by walks, but by hitting the ball.
Right.
And so I think that's the big thing that's still waiting for this offense. But I do see signs of maybe something. Exactly. Keep him hitting cleanup.
Yeah, I like him there.
Keep him in the middle of that order. Feels like he's got his confidence back. Now that the confidence is there, let's go.
It was nice to see him the other day. He's laughing and smiling on the field again.
That's huge.
Big. That's huge. Yeah. If you're not enjoying it, you're not going to play well.
Yeah. I said something the other day, and I'm trying to find it because I liked the way that I said it. I know it sounds crazy, but it was I was talking about, okay, so, and this is where I go with Skenes and the offense. I believe in baseball having intangibles. I think that there is a difference having Kutch in the dugout. We saw what Santana even did last year. When he wasn't hitting, there was still value. I mentioned we don't get the run from Jeff Locke back in the day if we don't have AJ Burnett on the team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Things like that. So I think that there are things like that that are valuable. And I think that there are things, so speaking of intangibles, I think that there are things that gain momentum. And I think that momentum increases confidence. And we just said that. We talked about with O'Neal Cruz getting a little bit and him getting that confidence a little bit back. Get him a little momentum now. Let's increase confidence. These guys are going to feel good. Skenes is coming up. This team, without question, no matter what anybody says, got better.
Yeah.
Come Saturday. Like, regardless of what changed on the offensive side, the team got better as a team. Mm-hmm. Your confidence is going to go up a little bit. Confidence increases focus. Focus increases productivity. You start feeling good, and you're going to have an easier time focusing instead of what we saw from so many of these players this year, where they hit a ball and they're down. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I can't buy a hit. Or they see strike three and they're like, Joey Bart the other day complained on 2 strike 3, called third strikes that were both in the zone, and he was shaking his head like they weren't in the zone. And that's a lack of confidence. He's not seeing it. And I see that with a few of these guys. Henry Davis a lot with the swing and miss, right? First things first, right? He starts to get mad. I think when you're getting mad, I think the confidence is still there. You're mad that you missed it. When you start getting down, you see that defeated look, like we saw from Cruz, that's when the confidence went away.
Yeah.
We've seen that from Sawinski this year a little bit. What I saw from him the other day was that he got a little ticked off when he hit a ball hard and didn't get on. And because he hit it straight into the ground, right? So, he hit it hard, but he hit it straight into the ground. Like, it was an out all the way. Not that he got robbed of a hit. He hit it, right? But he hit it hard. And he's been hitting it hard. And he's starting to buy hits here and there. But I saw him get mad instead of get down. And that, I believe, is the beginning of your confidence starting to come back a little bit. He's feeling it a little bit. And so he was confident that when he pulled the trigger to hit that ball, it was going to be a hit. And then he got ticked that it wasn't. And because he said, like, that's on me kind of a thing. You know what I mean? Like, there's just a difference between being mad and being upset, I think, for these guys. And I'm starting to see a little bit of that. So Skenes shows up. We've already been looking at the ticket sales. We've already seen what the secondary market is doing. Tickets in the section that I bought tickets for are already $110, $120 higher than what I paid for them. And all of that, like, right? And everybody wants to be in a certain area. That place is going to be packed on Saturday.
Yeah, it is.
You have an O'Neal Cruz giveaway, t-shirt giveaway. You have Paul Skenes' debut. It's going to be packed. And that's going to create some, like, energy. Just in general, there's going to be energy. And the Cubs travel well too. Their fans are going to be there regardless. I hope that we can take over that, but that's a thing. And so, like, you're looking at all this and you're saying, there's going to be a lot of energy there. That's going to build momentum. That's going to get this team a little confident. I think that if you've ever played a sport, there you go. If you've ever played a sport, then you know that there is something real about momentum, or else the quote wouldn't be hitting is contagious. It wouldn't be contagious if momentum didn't exist in baseball.
Right.
So that,
and that can coincide with a person being around. So yes, technically Skenes can make this offense better. A presence of somebody who's, expecting big things. Like,
Or is
they
that
didn't
actually
expect-
is that technically, or is that
probably not?
Yeah.
Technically would probably be actually, working, with
actually
fingers
go
and
up
stuff.
there and
But
get hits? Yeah,
and hits, yeah. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It could actually jolt the offense as well. Like,
yeah.
hey,
The whole
now-
picture, right? Because of the sellout, because of the fans, because of the energy, because of the excitement, and it's going to be the excitement in the clubhouse, the excitement in the stands, right?
Yeah, it's going to be incredible. The only thing I wish that was a little bit different is I wish they played it at a normal time.
Well, I hear you,
Can we
and
just get back to games at 7 o'clock?
I know you're upset. This is normal time for Saturday games this time of year. Everybody else plays at 4 o'clock too. Every one of our Saturday games so far have been at 4 o'clock.
No, I know, and it's been frustrating all season. It's just terrible.
And they'll go back to it. It's
bad for baseball.
I don't know.
It's just bad for baseball.
Okay.
It's bad for viewership.
Okay. I think on the weekend, I think they, I don't know that that's necessarily true. I don't know though. It's a good point. I haven't looked, I don't know what
good for going to the games.
Yeah, okay, so attendance is up maybe on those games, situations like that. It's great for me because I'll drive in the morning and drive home that night, and it's not the same drive it used to be when
I was all excited. I'm like, man, I'm even getting out at 4 o'clock. I'll be able to just go home, get everything. Nope, there's gonna be an hour into the game by the time I get off work.
Yeah, hour into the game. I was getting confused. Is it 2 hours?
Yeah. No. Doesn't the game start at 4?
Game starts at 4.
I'll get off at 5 o'clock Eastern time.
Okay.
So the game starts at 3 for me.
Right. Oh, that's right. And it's 5 Eastern time. Okay. I got you. Yeah, you'll have to figure out a way to get out early then.
I might send myself home.
That's right. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that there is a chance that this does actually have an effect on maybe some runs being scored. But there should be more along with this, right? He shouldn't be the only one coming from Indy, I believe. And we talked about that before. Right. We've talked about it now for probably 3 or 4 straight episodes.
Yeah, I mean, you already have the taxi going. Let's just go ahead and throw a couple more guys in there with him and just bring up the package.
Yeah, I mean, at least, and I know everybody's going to talk about the numbers for Nick Gonzalez and, maybe the strikeouts, but it's the fact that he's hot. Mm-hmm. And at this point, I'm even okay with Triolo being the one to go down. I've kind of gone back and forth on that one a little bit, saying to send an outfielder down, but at the same time, I don't know. I even entertained on the earlier show this week that maybe it's Jack Sawinski, but then we have seen some things, and I do think that he's ready to maybe bust out. So I don't know that you do give up on him yet, and not that I would be giving up on him, but just like Henry Davis, I'm not giving up on him either, but sending him down to get right. But Jack's a little more into his career, so it is worth it to say that. But also, I think it's time that Connor Joe takes up a lot more innings at first base. And if that's the case, then that extra outfielder does make more sense. Because now Connor Joe is essentially an infielder for a lot of the time. I would give him starts against righties at this point because Tellez is not getting it done. Tellez starts to show some more signs. Maybe we get him some more ABs, but how many easy ground outs to second? And he's frustrated, you know what I mean? And the rest of us are frustrated. Well, we'll see.
I mean, I think you could bring up Gonzalez and Bay at this point.
Yeah, I'm a little bit. The thing about Bay for me is it has to be for an outfielder, and we've seen a little bit of Olivares getting a little better too with the grand slam, and then you know what I mean. So we're seeing a little bit of that as well. It was playing time for a while, but I think his playing time increases once you talk about Joe coming in. So in that case, if it's not Sawinski, I don't know who you send down. And you're not just going to cut Taylor. I think it's valuable to have him for late inning defense, even though he can't hit the broadside of a barn.
Hitting or throwing,
sitting behind the wheel of a car. You know what I mean? Like it's almost Henry Davis territory for him.
It's bad.
But either way, we got Bucko Mike saying Gonzalez the DH, put Kutch on the IL. I don't know. I've seen some good at bats from Kutch too. He's barreling the ball a lot. Yeah, Pitt City. What it is getting, the offense is getting better slowly. You really wish it would pick up quicker than that. That's kind of the thing. I'll just leave this there for the live folks to read. It's a major league reference. We had a little back and forth last night, me and Bucko Mike, with some Major League 2 references. And I brought up about Isahiro Kamikaze Tanaka knocks himself out for the third time this week. Apparently in Japan, that's better than catching the ball. So anyway, Mitch Keller threw a complete game. We don't want to miss that. We're winding down here. We've got so little time. Mitch Keller, complete game. We don't want to miss talking about that. It's got to be, I mean, this has got to be, you had to be, like, you audibly had to have yelled. This is like I feel like this is your pocket. Like, finally, they're letting somebody go the full length. And did you hear his quote? Did you hear
I did not.
Did you hear the quote about if they had a conversation with him?
No, I didn't hear that one.
He said, did Derek Shelton come and have a conversation with you after that 8th inning? And he goes, no. He said, Oscar came over, but he didn't even make it all the way to me, and I waved him off and said, get out of my face. I'm going out there for the 9th.
I mean, that's what happens when you're efficient with your pitching. I mean, 109 pitches that's doable. You know what I mean? Like, that's what was it, five strikeouts and a walk. You just gave up the home run. Home runs happen, solo especially.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to happen. It's fine. I mean, that's a gem.
Kudos to Mitch Keller. Love that. I know the complete game is not what it used to be, mostly because it doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, I think it's kind of bigger than it used to be.
Kind of, except
just because it just doesn't happen.
But when you used to say, like, oh, he led the league in complete games. I mean, that number used to be that was actually impressive. Now it's like, what do you have, 3?
Well, right, but that's just the thing. The pitching is so different now. If you actually get out there and you get to throw a complete game, it's a big deal. You give your bullpen a rest, like it's big.
Yeah, and Mitch is a guy who will go deep, and he's a guy that continues to throw. Like, what's the streak now? Like 37, 38 games of 5 innings or more. And so, like, you're saying, well, that's that's valuable.
Yeah, it is.
And I know some of those are 4 runs, 5 runs, but that doesn't, like, he's still out there, and it's still very valuable. And I think that that's just a big deal. And even if David Bednar is struggling a little bit in the back end, it's even a bigger deal. So my inclination would be always, if he doesn't have a shutout, if he doesn't have a no-hitter, if he doesn't have anything else with the complete game, then I always say, like, well, what's the point? Just throw somebody else out there and get out of the game. Well, in this scenario, with Bednar struggling a little bit, there was a point. You had a guy who was rolling. And I know that a guy throwing his 100th to 109th pitch is not as sharp as anybody coming in fresh. He's never going to be. And so that's one thing. However, he pumped up his velo in that last inning. He was feeling it. He had it all. And so I think you give the ball to guys like that. I think it's more important at this juncture for Mitch Keller to go 9 than it would have been otherwise. He hasn't had the best start to his season.
Right.
So when he's going good, I want him out there as long as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, I'm kind of like, well, it's not a shutout, so what's it matter? But you're right. Complete games are pretty scarce. Maybe it does make more of a difference to say, I pitched a complete game. How many of those are you going to throw? You look over the years, man, that number is going to be pretty small for a lot of these pitchers.
Yeah.
You got to think like Verlander's probably the last one to really be high on that list, right? I would imagine
him
so.
and Scherzer.
I don't even know if has he been a lot of complete game guys? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Those two guys, man. Those two guys. All right, we got to wrap this thing up. I got a meeting to get to. So what else we got here? Yeah, we get it. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks for listening. Paul Skenes Saturday. If you're going to the game, let me know. I'm going to be there. So we'll talk to you guys there. Man, Skenes debut. It's very exciting. Very exciting. You got anything else?
Man, let's go Bucs. Rally the troops.
Got to turn this thing around, and now's the time to do it. 10 straight games against divisional opponents. Cubs, Brewers, Cubs. Let's get it done.
Yeah.
Let's go Bucs.
Let's go Bucs.
Thanks for listening to my dad and Uncle Jake on the Bridge to Buctober podcast. Follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Bridge2Buctober. Don't forget to subscribe so you know when new episodes are released. Clear the deck, cannonball coming, and let's go Bucs.